As the Bucks return from the Sunshine State to an increasingly more sunny state of Franklin, we look ahead to a week for the Bucks that, while entirely in the comfort of home, is fraught with peril, and in the blink of an eye, it could turn tragic. They start out their week with Lipscomb and Belmont in town, a pair of in-state rivals who imposed a 1-3 mark on ETSU last regular season in 4 straight games, which sparked a string of 5 losses through 8 games and nearly turned the Bucks' whole 2010 season on its ear. Each year, Lipscomb is that A-Sun anomaly under Scott Sanderson. It's a very talented club that brings the best out of the Bucks, but at the same time seem to cause more throbbing headaches than any other team, with a possible exception of Stetson. Last year, it took a miracle to snatch away a tightly contested bout in Nashville as Jarvis Jones capped off a career-high 17 with a dagger at point 4. Now, to get to that point, the Bucks did what they had to do. Isaiah Brown went for a double-double. Justin Tubbs hit 3 threes in a course of netting 13. And Micah Williams, who plays very well close to his Manchester home, led all scores with 18. But still, it came down to the final seconds and a little good fortune. At home, it's gone past the final seconds on 2 straight occasions as Buck legend Courtney Pegram led the Bucks into overtime back in 2009, where they were able to hang on thanks in no small part to more hot shooting from Jones. Last season, back to overtime inside the Dome, only this time the Bisons would have the last laugh as Jordan Bergeson sunk the last 5 points in a contest to pull his team through. Looking at Lipscomb's top threats, back for more this year, Adnan Hodzik averaging 18 points, 8 rebounds, loves playing inside the Dome, where he scored 52 points in the last 2 meetings in Johnson City. Josh Slater, suspect 0 in the Lipscomb file, 17 points and a surprising 7 rebounds a contest, dropped 35 points and boarded 9 in last year's win here. And Jordan Bergeson, third on the team with 9 a game this year, scored 28 in the last 2 meetings, including those fateful 5 in overtime. No perennial matchup is more anticipated around the Buck Nation than their biannual regular season clashes with the Belmont Bruins, a team that has dominated the Bucks in their own building since becoming conference mates. 2 years ago, ETSU asserted their dominance in the Dome as Courtney Pegram and Kevin Tiggs ganged up for 46 points in an 87-57 bruising, the Bruins' worst loss since joining the A-Sun. Well, they followed that up with a 14-point win in a hostile town, albeit a neutral floor, the 09 conference tournament, where Pegram's legendary 30 led his big 3 and a young man named Tommy Hubbard to 81 of the team's 88 points. But 2010 was redemption time for the Bruins as they overcame ETSU's 67 second-half points to crack triple digits with a 189 win in Nashville. 9 days later on their home floor, the Bucks rallied back again in the second half and had the Bruins on the ropes when Sheldon Cooley missed the dunk that could have tied it in the closing minutes. The real controversy on the play, though, was how Keaton Belcher got away with a blatant clear out of Jacoby Davis, but the whistle never sounded, the dunk clanged, and one of the more riveting chapters of the rivalry became history. The Bucks had lost their 3rd game in 4 and would soon lose 5 out of 8, casting serious doubt on their will to repeat as A-Sun champions. Back for more this season, Belmont comes with a well-rounded attack led by Ian Clark, a 41% three-point threat, averaging 12 points, with Scott Saunders and Mick Hedgebeth both averaging 53% or better from the floor and 11 points a contest. From there, they'll rotate 5 more scoring options at 6 or better per contest, with Drew Hanlon, the Iceman, at the stripe, 91% in a category where the Bucks have struggled all year. Rounding out the Bucks' homestand early next week, they'll take on an Upstate team whose only conference win came against the Bucks back in December. And even in the last home meeting, ETSU found themselves down by as many as 18 to their Overmountain foe. That time, it took a late surge from Micah Williams and Justin Tubbs to break the 3-5 cold snap since the Nashville series, turn the tables on the Spartans, and propel them into a 6-game win streak and another A-Sun title. Now, whether Tuesday's game turns out to be a rejuvenator or a potential sweep of the week's opponents, winning is an absolute must. The Spartans only have one real scoring threat in Torrey Craig, who averages 14 points, 6 more than the next leading scorer in Josh Chavis, who is perhaps the only other guy who historically gives the Bucks trouble. Lipscomb, Belmont, USC Upstate, 3 teams that beat the Bucks at the last meeting. 3 teams that can very easily turn late January and early February into a long, cold winter for ETSU. From the ETSU MSHA Center, I'm John Stevens.